So I lost a $150,000 funded performance account with Apex Trader Funding earlier this week. So I want to talk about how that happened and what I am doing to mitigate that possibility in the future. So first off, I want to say everyone in this space loses performance accounts, and it's not a big deal. One thing you can do to make it less of a big deal is to pay the monthly fee if you're with Apex Trader Funding rather than the lifetime fee, because most people blow up their funded account before they get to that second payment. So mathematically, it's unlikely that you're in that minority that's going to make it multiple months or even get a payout, right? So you got to know based on your own statistics and make that decision for yourself. I do like to pay the lifetime fee because I don't want to have to worry about a monthly expense in my budget. But let's address the reality of these accounts really quickly to help mitigate the guilt that you might feel from losing an account. What Apex and all the other prop firms are asking us to do is extremely difficult. If you think about what they're actually asking you to do, let's say I know the most common account is a $50,000 account. So let's talk about that for a moment. To pass the evaluation, they give you $2,500 in drawdown and your profit target is $3,000. So they're asking you to more than double the amount of risk capital that you have. So you start out $50,000. It's an imaginary number. Forget about it. You start out with $2,500 and they want you to take that account balance and more than double it. But it's worse than that. They're not just asking you to double the account balance, which is a very difficult thing to do already. But every dollar that you make comes out from the other end, right? You make a dollar, they take a dollar away from you. So your risk that you always you don't, if you make $100, you don't have an extra $100 of risk, which you would in real life with an account with $2,500 in it. So that would make trading easier as your account grows, but that's not the case with these prop firms. And I understand why they have to do it. They need to protect themselves in order for this business to be profitable. Okay. So it's okay that they're doing that. I don't like it necessarily, but I know that they need to be profitable in order to offer me this opportunity. So just recognize that. Recognize how difficult it is. Recognize how difficult the task is that they're asking you to do. To double an account balance from trading, and if we're honest, most of us are trying to do that in a very short period of time, which means we have to use a lot of risk. So it's very difficult. So that's one thing you can remember when you lose, don't pass an evaluation, or when you lose a performance account. What you're doing is very difficult, and a very small number of people are even able to do it. So, keep that in mind. Now, what am I doing to mitigate that in the future? Well, first of all, how did I lose the account? Emotions. That's it. Emotions got the better of me. I took a couple of trades that had a high statistical probability of working. Both of them rather came and hit my stop, went a few points beyond my stop, and then went to my target. So I got stopped, and then what I wanted to happen happened. So that's one of the worst feelings that there is in trading. Getting stopped out, that hurts, but getting stopped out just to see the market then go do what you wanted, then you feel justified. I was right. So the market just came and, it was a jerk to me. It came and stop hunted me and then went to my target. That really hurts, especially when it happens multiple times. So what am I doing to mitigate that? The answer is to basically do no discretionary trading. So none of this, based on the patterns that I see in the market and this indicator and that indicator, I'm going to do this. None of that. So there will only be two types of trades that I will take. One is a systems-based trade, which basically tells me exactly my risk and reward for every trade based on a very specific setup. So there's no subjectivity is what I mean by systems trading. And the other would be algorithmic trading or automated trading. So in terms of my systems trading, I'm going to just really quickly, let me pull up NinjaTrader for everyone, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So going to NinjaTrader, I'm just going to go, well, let's do this. I'm just going to go to the start of the chart and find a setup somewhere where I don't know what happens and show you what I mean. Okay, so this might be a setup here. Okay, so I know from this system that since the market started here, created a high, came down to this level in this orange zone, and then went and created a new high, I know that the most likely thing to happen next, and I know the exact probabilities, the most likely thing to happen next is when it pulls back, it will most likely reverse somewhere in this area and go to a new high before it comes down to this area down here. So let's scroll forward candle by candle. Okay, so this changed a little bit here. So as long as it reverses and goes back to the high before it hits that blue box, I make money. So let's keep going here. And I will be teaching how this works as well as sharing automation with you guys. So definitely subscribe. Okay. Now, I don't know for sure that this specific trade is going to work, right? I just know that there's a high statistical probability. So we'll keep going. Okay, so there we go. So as long as I entered somewhere in this blue box and had my stop below this blue box, I would make money in that setup. So that's what I mean by systems trading. I know exactly where I need to enter. I know exactly where I need to exit. I know exactly where my target and where my stop will be every single time. And you'll see me do this type of trading live. So the next is algorithmic trading. So these are my remaining accounts. So you can see this one, this account got blown here. These are my remaining performance accounts with Apex. And these are the trades. This is the money that I made today. And I'll go ahead and show them on the charts here. So here's one here. Here's one here. Can look at there's another one there. And then I believe we had one yesterday as well. We don't get trades every single day. But basically these kind of fly in the face of the, hate to call anyone out in particular, but the Patrick Wieland style of trading, which is where, let's find that trade here. Okay, we're in a, well, this would be a better example. We're clearly in an uptrend right here. I'm not saying he would have taken this exact trade, but this is the type of thing that he teaches. Okay, so we have a clear uptrend up to this point. We have a downward facing trend channel in an uptrend. So when the market breaks above that, you buy and your target would be at the top. So I know that that does not work. It just doesn't. So I do the opposite. This algorithmic trading strategy does the opposite. Okay, so we sold there and then hit target there. And clearly we could have made a lot more money in this specific case. But so the reasons why systems trading and algorithmic trading are, in my opinion, so superior, well, there's a few different reasons. From a systems trading standpoint, when you have exact parameters for entry and exit, the exact setup, it has to do this, then it has to do this, then I enter exactly here, and I will get out exactly here or here. When you have that, you can backtest it because there's no subjectivity. If you can remove the subjectivity, you will know exactly what your statistics should be, right? Market changes happen, right? It's going to change in the future. Those statistics will be different, but we know up to this point, exactly how likely it is that our trade will work. And that helps take some of the emotions out of it, because you don't feel like you were wrong. Or I don't know about you guys watching, but I have guilt when I take a discretionary trade and I'm wrong. I feel like I did something that wasn't smart. But when I'm trading based on a system like this, I know that I did the right thing. I know the odds tell me this is the correct trade to take. If I lose it, it's not because I did anything wrong. It's just because the statistics, the statistics work in your favor over a series of trades, not in every trade. And then next, algorithmic trading is basically the same thing, but with the added benefit of also not having to deal with the emotions of manually entering the trade and seeing what happens with the trade. So when I'm doing the algorithmic trading, I don't even look at the charts while the trade is happening. I might check on it every few minutes to make sure that everything is working properly. If it's been a while and I haven't heard an alert that my target or stop has been filled, I might check to make sure the market is still in between them, because there are times where something weird happens in the market, and especially in simulated trading where the market will go through your stop or target and not fill you. It shouldn't happen, but it does happen because with these prop firms, the majority of them, your trades are actually simulated even when you are funded. So things like that can happen where the market goes through your order without filling it. So that's the only case where I will manually exit the trade, whether in profit or if the market's moved against me. So that's what I'm doing going forward. There's not many of you that watch at this point, but I do plan on streaming a lot more going forward. I'm in the middle of probably moving, so I'm kind of having to dismantle my setup. And I mean, you all know how that goes. Moving is not conducive to a consistent live streaming schedule. So, but of course, once we get into a consistent schedule, you know what time we're going to be streaming. Aftermarket, clearly aftermarket open, and usually just probably for the first hour or two. As far as these systems and algorithms, I will be sharing those things or details with everyone on how to participate and get access to those things in the near future. So keep an eye out for that. So I know the majority of you were here for Schadenfreude, just to feel some pleasure from my pain of losing that account. And, I welcome that. We're all human. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.